Good evening and welcome.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Hobby Night School. We are super honored and excited to have Lauren Powers, who is an event director for the Mint Collective here, joining us tonight. She's going to let us know all about what to expect at the Mint this year, and I am so stoked to go. What about you, Jerry?
You threw me off because I was going to ask her about the Mint, and then you one more time.
One more time. All right.
Son of a bitch.
Usually we're like one take people, but tonight I feel like we're just a mess. All right. Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Hobby Night School. I'm joined by my lovely husband, and we are privileged and honored to have Lauren Powers, who is an event director for the Mint Collective, here tonight to tell us all about the Mint and what we can expect there this year, and sort of, if you don't know, what the Mint is.
So Lauren, I just want to point out, she talked all that smack to me, and then the first thing she does in front of the camera calls me your lovely husband.
Listen, she said nothing but nice things to you all weekend when her and I were shopping in Burbank. So
she said you were feeding her vodka lemonade, so I believe it.
Thank you guys so much for having me on. I'm so excited to be here.
So for those who don't know, what is the Mint Collective?
All right. So the Mint Collective brings together all the biggest names, vendors, companies, investors in sports memorabilia and collectibles in the hobby. So it brings it all to one place, the MGM Grand in Las Vegas from March 30th to April 2nd.
So I'm really excited because the Mint is over my birthday this year. And so like Saturday night when I know you guys are having like the card carnival or whatever, I'm so excited to go to that and just like party on my birthday and so this is very exciting for me.
We'll throw you a few parties that week. We're going to have a kickoff party on the 30th for the Founders Kickoff, which will include a Mint cast with Peyton Manning. It also includes a Mint box break with 8 different breakers from around the country, battling it out for the best and highest value card, which is awesome. We're going to have a ton of cool things happening Thursday. Friday night, we're going to have a VIP preview of the marketplace party. So the floor will be open for all our 4-day Mint experience ticket holders. And then Saturday night, obviously, we're throwing you a huge birthday party with our Collectors Carnival featuring, the NCAA Men's Championship. So it'll be an exciting weekend of parties for sure, along with full great days of cards and collectibles.
I was going to say we're celebrating Courtney's 27th birthday, but she
I'll lean into that. I'm not a young little 21-year-old anymore, but I will hang at the Mint.
Perfect.
I'll be like the whole time. So I actually do have a question. You said the VIP ticket holders. So yeah. What are the levels of tickets that people can expect to be able to purchase for them?
Sure. The best value ticket is our 4-day Mint experience ticket, which includes all 4 days of the shows. It includes our Thursday night kickoff party. Friday, it includes all of our panels and workshops, which is the only way you get in on Friday is if you're a 4-day ticket holder. It includes, and I'll come back to that in a few minutes to talk about it. It includes our VIP Marketplace sneak peek. It includes Saturday and Sunday, the Marketplace all day. And it also includes the Collectors Carnival Saturday night. So it's a great value ticket. There's limited tickets left, so definitely go on and get yours if you want to come to those workshops. Kind of leaning in on that a little bit, the workshops last year were included in the Saturday and Sunday marketplace, which, is wonderful, but it also in talking with the hobby, I know Courtney's kind of met me here the last couple of shows. I've been really trying to immerse myself into the hobby and the people of the hobby and hear what they want, because last year when we combined the marketplace and the workshops together, there was a lot of things that didn't cross over naturally, right? So people who are vendors who might be more B2B really wanted to go to some of these panels and workshops, but couldn't necessarily leave their booth because they got to make the sales, right? It's still a business for these people. So this year, what we did was we pulled the workshop and panels out of the same day as the marketplace days. We gave it its own day on Friday, so we can really focus on giving the best workshop, the best panels, the best interactive experiences that day to the people who really want to see it. So that's going to be all day Friday, which is great. And then Saturday and Sunday, we can really focus on a great marketplace, which, by the way, is 30,000 square feet bigger this year. So we're going to have more dealers on site, which was another, feedback, a lot of feedback we got. We want a more transactional floor. And that's what we're really pushing on Saturday and Sunday.
That's awesome. That's great to hear just from a vendor standpoint. I know that people that I was talking to were like, it was hard because we wanted to go to the workshops. We wanted to see the panels.
Yeah.
But we were also like at our table, or, it was like everybody was at the panel and nobody was, on the floor buying. So the fact that you guys took that feedback and like adjusted is super impressive, because that's awesome.
Yeah, we really want to just give the best experience we can, to everyone. Everyone thinks, oh, it's just a B2B show. It's not. We focus on some B2B aspects of it, which is wonderful, but it's definitely B2C. We definitely want to, support our dealers in the industry and support the hobby itself with our marketplace floor. So we're really excited that the floor has grown this year. We have wonderful vendors that have come back from last year, some new vendors this year. So we're excited to have them out for sure.
What kind of workshops are going to be taking place on that Friday?
Oh man, we have a lot of great things going on. So eBay, who's our presenting sponsor, they're phenomenal. They just have everything they do is mind blowing, right? So they're really going to focus on how to optimize eBay. How to use the vault, how to be the have the best store on eBay that you can. They're going to use that. Then we have also Bullpen and Friends, right? We really want to focus on the local card shop. So Bullpen, who we love, right? Ty and Mitch out in LA, they're going to host a couple of different people in their room and really build out an actual hobby store in our workshop. So, and then they'll focus on a lot of things that the storefronts need. Security, right? Which is huge. I'm learning so much that how much security really needs to be involved in these local card shops for these assets, right? It's things you think of, but it's not really top of mind. But they're going to talk about that. They're going to talk about breaking and how to use content now to really push your stores, so I'm excited to see that. That's going to be Bullpen and Friends. We also have CSG, which is going to do their grading school with Andy Broom. So that's going to be awesome. Card Ladder and Collectible teamed up to get some great data panels out there and workshops, speakers. So we have a lot going on. We also are announcing quite a few things in the next 2 weeks. So stay tuned for sure in our social and on our newsletters, because we're announcing things honestly at this point daily, weekly. So we're really excited.
That is awesome to hear. I know that just following you around and listening to some of the ideas that people were like telling you, like, hey, I think this would be a great workshop. And you were like taking notes and you were getting emails and phone numbers of like just everyone and really absorbing that. And you yourself, you're new to the hobby, right?
I am. No, I'm very, very new to the hobby. So I've been, doing events for 25 years, and I love doing events, and I can do events with my eyes closed. But, there comes times when you get an event that's a really niche event and you have to engulf yourself in it and really learn it. I can't come in I recently visited Culture Collision, the Burbank Card Show, both phenomenal shows, very different, right? But for me, there's room for every show in the hobby, right? There's room for everybody, because they focus on so many different things and they bring so many different aspects. So as an event director, I feel like it's important for me to really learn what this is. Like, what is the hobby? For like a couple of meetings that when I first started, everyone was like, the hobby. I'm like, what are you talking about? What is this hobby you speak of? And then I really started learning David Marino from Collectible has been a huge asset to me and has really guided me, down of who to speak with and kind of what I should be learning and things like that. And I just kind of made the decision, like, you know what, I really need to put my best foot forward, not fake this, and really try to like understand this. And in the middle of learning and understanding it, I fell in love with it. And now I collect Star Wars cards, and I bought my first hockey card with Jeremy Lee at Burbank Card Show. And it's fun. And the thing I love about the hobby is, you could be anybody. You don't have to be, the prettiest girl in school or the nerd it doesn't matter who you are. You're accepted because we all love one thing, and that's collecting. And it brings out that kid in you, like I'm collecting these Star Wars cards and I'm kicking myself because I've already had them once. And, when I was younger, we opened them. I've had them. I might have put them in my bicycle spokes, but at that point, instead of putting them in plastic toppers right now. But I really have been blessed to meet the right people. I've been blessed to learn the right way, and I can't wait to learn more. And in learning this, I'm learning what makes a good event and what people really want to see and want to hear. And nobody wants to sit in front of a speaker at 10 o'clock on a Friday morning after you just went to a kickoff party in Vegas that isn't interesting. Who wants to do that? So it's really taking the feedback from the people in this industry, and not the CEOs and the corporate suits. It's, you and your husband. It's the women of the hobby, speaking with Mama Breaks and Sarah Layton and Jeremy Lee. And, I spoke with Luca Nation a lot. There's just so many good people willing to teach you and willing to listen to what you really want to learn, right? Like, it sounds so silly, but Jeremy Lee, when I bought my first Pat LaFontaine metal hockey card, he was like, "You're putting it in the topper the wrong way." It's like, what? There's a way, And he showed me, and I'm like, oh yeah, it makes sense now. It's great. But it's like little things, big things. Speaking with Andy Friedman and learning about how he, became involved in this. And it was because he drew a 5x7 index card and fell in love with the hobby and the art. And here he is now making cards that are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, So I think the thing that fascinates me is, yes, I started this learning because I wanted to put on a good event, right? But now I'm like really falling in love with the people of it. Rolling with FD. I met him, at Burbank this past weekend. What a just nice guy, just a nice guy to talk to and interesting. Like, everybody has a story that's like interesting and intriguing, and you kind of have to stop and go like, hey, I can relate to that, So now it's a bigger thing. My team and I want to put on an event that is meaningful, and we do want to hear the feedback, good, bad, or indifferent, because we only grow from that. We only make it better from hearing that. So we are trying to put our best foot forward, grow from what we were last year by, taking the constructive criticism and really learning what people want and then executing it.
You said one thing that grabbed my attention, and I think it's important. You said fun. And I understand that there's a lot of people in this space that this is their job and they have to make money. And I can totally appreciate and respect that. For some people, the hobby is just a form of escapism. It's a way to disconnect from real life. It's nostalgic, like you said. And on a side note, you guys having fun resulted in Courtney calling me at 3 o'clock in the morning because you guys were opening God knows what.
Yes.
He's freaking out. God knows what.
Wait.
I have my 4-year-old sleeping to me and Daddy, what's going on? And I said, Mommy's a crazy lady. And then she sends me pictures, and then from like 3:30 Eastern time to like 5 o'clock, I'm like, okay, she's so excited. She told me she just won $1 million. And at 4:30, I just sent her a message. And I'm like,
so
I think we
this
have to work on Monday.
This is how much fun we have, and I agree with you because I am having a blast doing this. So Courtney, your wife, phenomenal negotiator, negotiating a Luca card with somebody who had a table that was right next to, and I'm kind of just standing there, like, listening to her negotiate. And I look over and I see a closed Pixar box from Japan. And I'm like, oh, Courtney. And she's legit negotiating. Like, you can imagine. I mean, how much his card was. So I'm like, I'm like buying $6 cards, $10 cards. And she's negotiating a little bit higher than that for this card. And I'm like, Courtney. And she's like, what? I'm like, they have Pixar cards. She's like, oh, okay. And she like literally closes this deal. We turn around to the next booth and we bought Pixar Japanese first run cards, which I'm so excited about, because when I went to Culture Collision and we went to trade night, I saw this guy who had these Pixar cards and they were so cute. And I love Disney. I think Disney's great. Who doesn't love Disney? I'm a huge Star Wars fan. So naturally I like Disney. And then we got these cards. So then we bought a box. I bought a box. She bought a box. And then Sharon, Black Jaded Wolf, we showed her and she's like, I want a box. So then she got a box. So we had this nice little breaking session between the three of us. It was phenomenal. And the one card you need out of this whole thing, the one card you need is the lamp, the freaking lamp. And what's the first card she pulls? The lamp. Screaming in the restaurant, the lamp.
So did she tell you this? In the middle of all that, I was bidding on a Patrick Williams gold card. We've got 2 of the 10. There's one, and I kind of threw like, if I get it, great. If not, no big deal. I've already got 2 of them. So like I put in my bid at like 2 seconds, and I got outbid. Well, then my screen refreshed, and it's like, you won the bid with some outrageous number. And I was like, I didn't do that. And she's just like, oh, I just want to make sure that we won it. So not only is she buying all these cards, knocking back vodka lemonades, living her best life, she's also bidding cards on eBay.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck?
I won while we were sitting at dinner after we ripped the Pixar box. So I didn't not only.
Oh, and then she has the audacity, Lauren. She has the audacity to go. She goes, oh, I thought maybe you fell asleep. And it was like 5 o'clock. I don't even know what time it was. The one time I'm fiscally responsible, my wife tells me, oh, I just want to make sure you didn't fall asleep. I got you.
Oh, God.
See those cards, right? And I opened it. I see the lamp, and it's not the base. It was the rare. Right. So I was like, it was sparkly. It was shiny. That guy at the booth was like, this is the card you want. I yelled, and I jumped.
Oh, you yelled. Yeah. The whole restaurant stopped. The whole restaurant.
They want me to, like, I'm walking around. Everyone's like, let me see. So I'm like walking around the restaurant. Like,
it was pretty epic. It was pretty epic.
I picked up from the airport, and she's like, oh, I'm so tired. I'm like, oh, really? Because by the time I went back to bed, our kids were up ready to rock and roll. So there was no sleep. I'm glad you're tired.
Oh, I will say this, Jeremy. She said, my husband's a rock star. He cooked dinner for the clan tonight and let me sit on the couch to watch the game. So she's praising you all around. I will say that.
Understated. I do more than just cook. I run a tight ship, man. I got this thing. Mama's not here. I got to hold it down and show everybody that, like, I'm the man.
I came home. The kids were clean. The house is clean. There was dinner ready for me when I walked in the door. I'm like, this is amazing. I went to an art show. I went to California. I hung out with my friends. I ripped wax. I came home to a clean house, clean children, and dinner. I'm doing this every weekend.
Perfect.
So this makes my bigger point was fun. It's fun. Like,
so much fun.
Away from the everyday life, go out, let off some steam, hang out with people that she had a blast with, and that, I think that's important. That's been missing because so many people that either entered or their main focus is just on profit margin. It's probably not been so much fun over the last couple of years.
For me, it's just, I kind of fell into it. Like I just wanted to do some research, right? And I really just fell in love. Like I found, I got a Wicket card, I have a hobby name on Instagram, Wicket Collects. I have all these followers. They're sending me different things from Star Wars that I've never seen. And I'm loving every second of it. I'm awake at 3:00 in the morning watching YouTube breaks. My husband's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Watching this break. Please just stop. I'm invested in it." Like just stop talking to me. But I love it. It's fun. It brings you back to your childhood. It's innocent, right? Like it's good. It's a good feeling when you get that card or you're chasing that card. The other day I was making an Excel spreadsheet of the 2022 Star Wars Galaxy Chrome cards to make sure that I had them all. Like it was like 9:00 at night and I'm literally making a detailed spreadsheet with different tabs and highlighting what I have, what I need. So that way when I went to the card show, I knew what I had to like chase. And I was like, this is it. I get it now. Like I get it. I'm on the hunt, looking at everybody's booths. I'm negotiating cards. It's just insanity. And now the one card I didn't get, and Courtney knows the one card I didn't get, it was a C3PO and R2D2 card, and I'm literally dreaming about it. So now it's like now I have to find the card, and it's exciting because I'm gonna start looking for it again.
It's so funny because every collector has that card that they're like, I should have pulled the trigger.
Yep.
And then you spend like the next several months like chasing it down because you have to find it now because you're like, I didn't buy it when I had the chance. I really wanted it. I should have just got it. And it was
beautiful. It was beautiful.
You were like that. That's like you're anointed an official collector now because
that happened
because I'm having dreams about a Star Wars trading card. Literally dreams of this card. So it's very comical. Very.
We were
comical.
at National in Chicago a couple years ago, and there was a Luka Doncic rookie, like super short print, low numbered, and we're like, "Are we gonna buy this? Let's think about it." So we went to dinner. We went to trade night, and as the evening progressed, we were like, "We should have bought that. We should have bought that." And we were staying out at trade nights at the Delta till like 3-4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And we're not, as Courtney said, spring chickens anymore. So this was really so like we were back at National the morning of. You have the rush as people are running. So I'm like knocking little kids like, miss me with that. We got back over to the table and it was gone. And it was just like an absolute gut punch.
Yeah. So I feel your pain on that. I was laughing. You know what was fun was we spent Saturday together at Burbank, right? You and I. And we went from table to table. We were like, I feel like we hit every single table, and we talked. We talked to
everybody.
Everyone. We like people at Beckett and PSA and ComC and Lyft and everything, and then just just the tables, the dealers, people who are just set up that are local people just set up, not like these big names. And that's the thing is like there's like art knows no class, and I feel like the hobby's similar to that because you have you have like you could walk up and see someone who's like a huge big time collector making a deal with someone who's just like a weekend hobbyist, and it's like everybody's kind of they're just together, and you have people like you who are brand new, right? You're walking around, everything is exciting to you. It was so joyful to spend the day with you because everything you saw was like the coolest thing. It was your first time seeing it. Like when we were at TAG and they were unveiling the Mike Trout card. And
that was awesome. That was awesome.
He was shaking. His hands were shaking because that's like life changing for him. And you're there witnessing that. Yeah. And it was so fun. Not only like that was super cool to watch, but like watching you be so excited over seeing these things for the first time and experiencing it for the first time. You negotiate a card down from $40 to $6, and you're just that adrenaline rush you get from being like, I just got this great deal, and and I got something I really, really cherish, and it was fun. And the more we do better with these shows like the Mint and Burbank and Culture Cushion, the more these shows are, inclusive, and the more these shows are, modern and fun and well done so that people feel like it's an event and not just like a dusty old show, the more new people and the more excited people will be. And that's why I think it's so cool that you've immersed yourself in it, because that kind of excitement from somebody who's planning an event will translate into that event, in my opinion.
I hope so. We talked to so many people, and then, when I bought my first hockey card with Jeremy Lee, I was like, well, now I need more hockey cards. I'm a huge New York Islanders fan. It's a blessing and a punishment all in the same sentence. But we went and looked for New York Islanders cards, which I was so excited about. We found one vendor. I can't remember his name. His last name was like Salt Shaker. Oh, Drew. Yeah. So we're looking, and he had all these Islander cards, and I was excited because I love Anders Lee, and he had an Anders Lee card that had the jersey patch on it, game worn. Now I know to look for that. Thank you, Courtney. Game worn Islanders patch on it, and I was so excited about it. And then I was walking around all excited, and I dropped it out of my thing because I held it upside down. So even that, like, I have to learn. You have to put it in the plastic with the little thing now that seals it so it doesn't fall upside down and fall on the floor. But still very excited. None of my cards that I've gotten are worth anything, but they're so valuable to me. I show everybody. Like, my husband's like, are you going to show we're at dinner. He's like, you have a card to show somebody? I'm like, I'm just excited to like show people what I found. It's like finding little pieces of my childhood and finding the little pieces of my joy in life. Like, the Islanders, it's great. They win, they lose, but like, I find these cards and it's like the best of it. You know what I mean? It's exciting.
I bought you some Texas Rangers cards.
Oh, exciting. Fine. I'm not even a Texas Rangers fan, but I'm sure I'll love them.
She was like, we will not be buying any Texas Rangers cards.
No Texas Rangers cards. But yeah, no, it is about the fun. The one thing too that I really like is with the mint, what we decided to do. And actually, Courtney's going to help, and Mama Break, Stephanie's going to help. But I think it's important, so important, to get the kids involved in a positive manner, right? Some of these kids, when we were in and saw Stephanie do her trade day kid stuff at Burbank, some of these kids were very green, like me, and some of them were more intelligent than any adult I've ever met in my life. Like, they knew how to run the market. They knew how to look at the numbers. It was insane to see. So for me, with Mint, I think it's important to capture that, right? So what we're actually going to do is we're going to have kind of like a passport for kids. And it's going to be mostly our art, our event artwork poster, a very nice poster for the kids. And our sponsors will all have a custom stamp. So kids can go around to each of our sponsors, get a stamp, probably a cool giveaway, something like that. And then at the end, bring it back, to our eBay booth and turn it in for a really cool prize. And now they have this great poster that highlights all these wonderful sponsors that we have that they're constantly going to remember, and these different experiences that they had at the booth. Maybe they have to guess a grade on a card at CSG, or whatever it may be, but really trying to get the kids involved. I want to reach out to the local communities in Vegas because Jeremy, you hit on something. It's like you want new people to come in there, right? So kids are already fun. Kids are already so naturally into this. It's like, think about it. When we were kids, we were begging our parents to get the Star Wars cards, or the gem truly outrageous cards, just because you wanted to stick a gum or something. These kids, like, they, to get them involved in something like this and keep the hobby going and keep the passion going, and the love for it going, I think is really important. So we are going to put some focus on doing some cool things for kids on site as well.
That's awesome. We've been doing that scavenger hunt for a few years now at one of our local shows.
At the Shipshawana show.
The show, yeah. I'm so excited. I love Shipshawana. That is like, that's our home show, right? That's the one we never miss. We set up.
Right.
We
missed Mint last year because we were committed to Shipshawana.
Because it got switched for COVID, and we were already committed.
Now it's earlier, right? It's earlier. So now you can come to both.
So we can do both. So I'm very excited. But the one thing is, a lot of the events that do things for kids, it's not geared towards kids, like you were talking, who are so well versed in the hobby.
Right.
It isn't always geared to them. And with ours, we made a point of making sure that there's stuff that these kids who are well versed and are already active, avid collectors. They
Right.
don't want like base second year junk wax that like you don't want. You're like
Right.
so we have made such a huge point of making it something where they feel like this is valuable. And I feel like having them see dealers go above and beyond for them, and like we always trade with kids. We always let them win because in our opinion, we're cultivating the next
Absolutely.
generation of collectors.
You're investing into the future of the hobby.
If
100%.
these kids don't like cards, if they don't find it nostalgic, if they get ripped off by somebody, then they have a bad taste in their mouth. And all of our like beautiful, expensive cards, if there's nobody growing up that is like, oh, I remember when Luca was awesome and here's his card and I want to buy this now that I have tons of money and I can afford to buy it, then none of these cards are worth anything because
No,
you
it's
don't
true.
have a generational, need for them. So that's one thing
Definitely.
too. You ruin the hobby for people, and not just kids either. Let's be frank, like new people in the hobby, if you're ripping them off, you're ruining that experience for them, and that's somebody who's going to leave the
Right.
space. And the more people we have invested in the space, the more valuable your collection becomes. And so it's always been really important for us when we're dealing with kids specifically that we treat them with the level of respect that they deserve. Because
Listen,
I
these kids have all of my level of respect.
yes,
They can out negotiate me at every turn at these booths. They were phenomenal watching them this past weekend at Burbank. I can't wait to see them on the floor at Mint. I mean, I'm actually like genuinely excited about seeing these kids negotiate cards on the floor at Mint. They were so brilliant. And it's as an adult, it's nice to see some kids passionate about something, right? Everybody's on video games and this and on tablets. Nobody just does kid things anymore. To see kids be kids was awesome. It was worth everything. It's like I felt like a big kid. I act like a big kid around the whole show and taking it all in, but like seeing these kids enjoy being a child, that's worth anything the hobby has. Anything. It's priceless. So we definitely want to invest in that portion of it.
When Court had the idea to do this many years ago and we put it together, we had come out of pocket. It was important to us. We have kids, and
Right.
our experience as children was not good. We had like the card shop. It was like, how much money do you have in your pocket? Oh, I've got $15. Well, guess what? This card's normally 30, but for today it's 15.
Right.
And so we remember how that felt. So it was important the first time out that it's not about money. It's a good way of throwing good karma out there.
Yep.
It's a good way to be positive. It's also just a good way to treat people. I'm like, we're big believers, and if you just do right by people, somehow it'll make its way back to you.
I agree.
So what was an unintended consequence that we found out real quickly, and why we absolutely love the hobby, is the community that came out. The amount of people that started donating real money, sealed wax, hobby boxes, free grading. And so I don't want to say like children's names, but when a kid gets into a free break and pulls a $200, $300, $400 card, but also got free grading, all of a sudden that kid's got $1,000 card. And you saw how these kids are. They're wheeling and dealing. Next thing you know, they drive off in a Lambo.
It's so true, but it's an awesome thing to experience. It's so awesome to watch, to watch them succeed from something they were passionate about, right? I think as adults, sometimes we get away from that. It's all about just working to live and making the money so you can pay your bills and pay for the kids and pay for the animals and pay, whatever it might be. But like you forget about the passion of things. And the hobby for me reminded me of that. Like I have a very cool job, but it's even cooler now that I get to experience like the community that is the hobby, and be part of it and give back to it. It's a great feeling. I'm blessed to be part of the Mint Collective and to be part of a team that feels exactly the same way. They're the ones sending me off to all these places to learn, to truly learn, so that we can put on the best show we possibly can for this community. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see everybody again at Mint. I'm excited to see what people think of our changes. You know, we've gotten positive responses so far. So, you know, we're getting nearer and nearer day to day. So, you know, we're really excited. We are going to start announcing more and more things in the next couple of weeks. So definitely pay attention to us for that, because I think that you will be as excited as I am.
We've got a few minutes left here, so I mean, if you want to break something here, you're more than welcome.
Don't, because you know I'm like terrible at keeping secrets. I'm gonna have to just click out of this podcast.
So I'm excited to hear that people, whether or not those ideas or thoughts or feedback come to fruition, I'm glad that the people who are in control are hearing it.
Yep.
One thing that over the last few years, as much as we're entrenched in the hobby, we don't go to many shows, and it's not a knock. It's just that the same tired VFW show with the same tired table with like no vibe, no restaurant, no like pizzazz or showmanship gets old. And after Courtney and y'all go into Culture Collision, then go into Burbank, you're kind of seeing the elevation of the game. And I think the competition is great for the consumer, which is us, because we're not profitable in this space. We're just like bleeding money out. But, you know, it's exciting to know that we're going to go and it's not just going to be the same old, that there's going to be more and more and more, which is exciting for me as a hobbyist.
I feel like a lot of the comments about Mint have always, like, that I heard and like gave me such FOMO last year was just the production value of Mint. Like it is not just a show. It feels like an event. And for me, that's sort of why, like, I ship Shawana locally on a much smaller scale, is because it feels like an event. It's a one-day thing. And around here, everybody's weekend shows. So when you go to a show where it's like clear the people that are putting it on are like, they're thinking about these things. And like the Ludic show is another really good one. So, and then you go to something like Culture Collision, then you go to Burbank, and now I'm super excited to go to Mint because I didn't get to go last year. And just hearing your like enthusiasm over all this, and then the people who went, like our friend Manny went, and he was like, "It was my favorite show. It was my favorite."
Oh, we'd love to hear that. But you know, for us, we're excited. Yes, we, you know, the cool thing about our event production is we have a phenomenal team of people. You know, we have great presenting sponsor eBay, who's very involved. You know, our founding partners, Collectible, Omaha. You know, they're just, everybody's very hands-on and brings a lot to the table. You know, IMG, who I work for, you know, we produce events all around the world. So we bring that kind of factor of production, but we really want to be authentic in what we do. So it's important for people like myself, people like, you know, speaking with you guys, to really get involved in what people need and want, and go back to the old school business sorts of like a needs analysis. Like, what do people want to see? What do people want to hear? You know, it's as basic as that. And it's just taking that feedback and fulfilling it and putting great production around it. But we have a great team. We have a great team of sponsors who I love working with, and am excited that they're on board. And I think it's going to be a really great show. And going to all these other shows, you know, Culture Collision, Burbank, you know, Union, you know, Marketplace, which is coming up too. Like there's room for everybody, because we're all on the same goal. We all want to put out the best product, the best show, for the community, right? This community that we all love and work within. So I'm excited. I'm excited that you guys are going to be out at Mint. I'm excited to show you what we're doing and get some announcements going. And yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be a fun time.
I'm thrilled. I appreciate you joining us. I am going to link everything in the notes for the show. So if you're watching this, just scroll down to the description. There'll be, you know, all of Mint social media, their website, you can buy your tickets. That will all be added in our show notes today. So you can easily find that, because the more the merrier. And if you're there, come find me because I want to meet you if I haven't met you in person. The reason I go to these shows a lot is so that I can meet everybody that I talk to online, that we do. You know how many people at like Burbank that I bought cards from like online, and I never met them in real life until we were at Burbank, and I was like, oh my gosh, I bought this card and this card. You know, and now I'm seeing your face, and I only know your Instagram handle, so now I know that your name's Mark or John or you know, Susan. So it was super cool. And that's part of it too with these shows that are like big, an event where people are going to them.
Yep.
It's as much about the cards as it is about the people.
The people. Yeah, the people. That's what I'm learning too. Like, listen, I only bought a couple of cards this past weekend, but you know, it's hearing everybody's story and I love it. It just listening to people, meeting people, shaking hands, putting faces with names. You know, everybody's doing this because they're passionate about it, you know, and that's what's exciting. So hopefully we can kind of encompass all of that energy in the Mint Collective and bring the hobby a really great show this year.
So before we get out of here, just on a personal level, Vegas is like a second home for us. We get out there as much as humanly possible. So we'll be in town Wednesday to Wednesday for a week, and we're actually looking to buy a house out there. But so we get a couple days beforehand to get excited. Then we have the show. Then we got a couple days to decompress. But then we turn around and come back we always go Cinco de Mayo weekend for like Kentucky Derby and the fights. Unfortunately, Canelo's fighting in Mexico this year. But yeah, this show plus Vegas, this is like holidays, Super Bowl, the whole shebang rolled into.
Well, I'll let you guys know because we're gonna do a couple of trade nights with some local shops over there with Game Day LV and Legacy and Blez. You know, we're gonna be out there, just kind of drumming up exciting, you know, doing some trade nights leading up to it. So definitely get you guys out to one or two.
Well, I already booked the babysitter Monday.
Got a girl. We spoke earlier.
I thank you for taking time out of your, I know, very busy schedule to join us, and we look forward to seeing you in person soon. If not before the Mint, definitely at the Mint. So bye, everybody. Thank you, and make sure you check the show.
Good boy. That's a good boy. That's a good boy.
He's my best coworker.
That's a good boy.
He's a puppy. We're trying to teach him how to not jump. God help us. All right. I love you guys. I'll see you soon. Thank you so much.